The debate opened with moderator Susan Page stating that this will be a civil discussion on the big issues. This agreement was held by both parties throughout the night, with words of respect exchanged between them. The first topic that night, of course, was COVID and its handling of it, directed towards Vice President Pence. The question was, why was the U.S. death rate so high? President Pence responded by reminding America that President Trump suspended air travel with China as soon as COVID presented a threat. Vice President Pence also took the time to announce Operation Warp Speed, which would deliver hundreds of millions of doses of vaccine before the end of the year. In her turn, Senator Harris called the handling of COVID the single greatest failure of any presidential administration in the history of our country. She also stated that President Trump hid how severe COVID was from the American people. The topic was on the economy. The question put forth by moderator Page: would raising taxes put the economy at risk? Senator Harris responded by stating that they will cut the Trump tax bill, which gave tax cuts to the 1%, big corporations, and costed Americans trillions. She continued on to say that the money gained from cutting Trump's tax bill will be reinvested into infrastructure and education, with tax cuts for those making less than $400,000 a year, $10,000 of credit towards student loan debt, and 2 years of free public college for those making less than $125,000 a year. Vice President Pence first combating the previous statements, stating that the Trump tax bill cut taxes across the board. He continued to say that if the bill is cut, taxes will increase for all Americans. He went on to say that the Trump tax bill saved families up to $4,000 in tax breaks, and mentioned the $4 trillion they obtained from Congress for the stimulus check, which helped many Americans stay above water during COVID. Moderator Page moving on to climate change, and if it has made fires hotter and hurricanes wetter and heavier, thereby making them more devastating. Vice President Pence starting by stating that our air and land have never been cleaner, and that we have some of the cleanest water amongst the entire world. He went on to remind that President Trump signed the Outdoors Act, which is the largest investment in our public lands and parks, and that they will follow the science. The question was directed towards Senator Harris on why Biden said that he did not support the Green New Deal, even though that is said to be on their website in their platform. Senator Harris did not give a clear response, instead reminding that they will not ban fracking, that those making $400,000 or less will not have a tax increase, and that their new economic plan will have 7 million more jobs than President Trump. China. Vice President calling them our enemy and that they are responsible for COVID-19. He went on to say that Biden has been a cheerleader for communist China for some time. Harris tried to counter by saying that all the actions taken by Trump has resulted in the loss of American lives, jobs, and standing in the world. The next topic, just as hot as the last, abortion. Both parties pretty much taking their party's views. Senator Harris, though, mentioning the Affordable Care Act and how those with pre-existing conditions are being targeted, and that if the Trump administration is voted into office again, Roe v. Wade may be overturned. Vice President Pence stated his hopes that Amy Coney Barrett is responded to fairly and not judged on her party's beliefs. He went on to ask if Senator Harris and the Democratic Party plan on court packing if they do not get their way. Senator Harris only responded in that the American people should choose. Police reform, starting with Senator Harris. She stated that police reform needs to start with police accountability, no private prisons, the decriminalization of marijuana, and the banning of choke and carotid holds, which would have allowed George Floyd to live another day. Vice President Pence responded by stating that he trusts the American people and trusts the verdict of the American people, and that regardless, there is no excuse for rioting and looting in the streets. He went on to say that the police are not racist and that he and President Trump stand with them. The second to last question that night: is a peaceful transfer of power possible? Donald Trump saying no, Vice President Pence saying they won't lose. The last question that night, surprisingly, was not written by the moderator, but by an 8th grade girl by the name of Brecklin Brown. Her question summed up in: if our Republican and Democratic leaders fight, then how are we as citizens supposed to get along? Vice President Pence stated that as Americans, we can have these vigorous debates, but in the end, come together as Americans. Senator Harris taking this chance to push Biden by saying that a free America, that a equal America is only possible with Biden, and that if you want to see a better America, vote. The debate ending fairly respectably, with both parties dodging some important questions, Senator Harris on court packing and Vice President Pence on a peaceful transfer of power. Regardless on whether you vote for the left or the right, please remember that your vote matters, and your vote is your golden ticket to whatever world that you want to live in. This has been Kendall Damian Hill signing off. Have a good day.